Do you know spending 40 million, big 40M, on decor for a marriage function, and you sell land, a house standing on prime property in Kampala for the same marriage function, but your girlfriend comes to the internet to despise and clown you after the breakup? Let's listen to clips of this absurd story of Apple 256 clowning Sam Sturning Furniture about what happened during their marriage and the breakup. I want you guys to listen very attentively because we're going to break down the clips after they have played.
Nafe tuzeyo meeting obimanyi nangamba sagala bintu bya kunsondera bichi nagenda okubalira ku bisabe namusangira ennyumba yali mu jima naye y'omukyanja nangamba mbuje yatunze to get that money ez'emikolo ekitegeera
yatunze ennyumba mukole emikolo
kati the guy yali anjagala nga y'omuntu but yali mukonekalika social media excitement okitegeera so kati munaye ngatonda kuba twakola decor yali wa miliyoni 3 miliyoni 4 just kukyala
demo muludi gomo
akola decor wa miliyoni 4 just kukyala so nampa sente ezigenda otegekera ewaffe because okukyala kubeera kwa wasenga but we used my daddy's place because my senga abeera mu kibuga senga wanganga abeera wali kansanga ate bimanyi kansanga teri nyombo olina poloti mbu so otekawo omukolo mbu wanene nno ozimba poloti yo weggwerayo so my auntie's place wafunda ne tugamba tugutwale waka ne kitwalayo omutimbi n'apima namugamba sente because yalina sister we namusalirako ka biki kozera balaba tente ezaliyo bagita bateeyo ebiranga waggulu bolaba ebire njala biderenya
tente sijimanyi kusinze nze mikoro jannemo kola
abajimanyi abagitegedde like eba tente nene kubaja batuzamu abako nenga botuna waggulu bolaba ebire waggulu so netukola emikolo najje waka naleta ebintu like napesa kale ekitiibwa ng'obimanyi
yakuwasa ekitiibwa
I really appreciate that for him ekitiibwa yakimpeesa kozi teyatwala bintu byanswaza
kyokolaba apo wali musanyufu ku mikolo kubanga olina engeri gye wabuubangamu kajjambo saama neŋŋamba
so kyokola n'abasinga banja banga I respect him I don't give him food nga nyimiridde ng'ogyeko shani nebya camera okwantikaddeye yayagala kulaga abantu mukazi we kale byakola you know but I used to even kneel off camera because nze olusi nali simanyanga ati akutte camera
walinga tomanyi bakwatanga naaweya
najegwanga mbugwe kati otugeza amadi enva mu kitchen ne musanga nga recordinga so ninshwala bwentu but I used to give him respect because omusajja yagenda ewamwe you can't serve him food ng'oyimiridde
kakati DJ Apple recently nakulaba Nairobi Kenya nendaba ebifaananyi and for some reason nendaba omwami bamuyita Sam ndowooza onono exiwo naye nga kiraga nga abaali Nairobi mwenna why don't you move on from your ex lwaki ate mwasigala mugenda ku trips nga muli babiri
ekitoka miwenanze I don't go back Sam yali ayagala platform
kiddemu
Sam yali ayagala platform okuva gyendi because nawulyako rumors in his friends inti business tekyatambula bulungi because the time I met Sam the business was not going good because era abasinga baali tebamumanyi nga ne video tezijja ku for you page y'abantu so when we started dating he forced me I repeat that he forced me to post him because I told him I don't want
Apple listen omuntu akuforcinze okukutimba ne tulaba nga oli musanyufu osimayiringa n'akuwa sente n'akuwa iPhone 17 ne mwekubako kabina how is that forcing you
it is forcing me because the nigga like we started dating nambuza do you prefer social media relationship or not namugamba I prefer not to put our relationship on social media though it doesn't have to be private and no one has to know Apple is dating Sam
so in other words the relationship had to be private but not a secret
Yes.
Alright, first of all, we have to acknowledge that, yeah, Sam Sturning Furniture is a clown. He could have done it because he's a young man, but that was utter stupidity. How do you sell a house for marriage? And of course, from what we've learned, Apple 256 says that he did it because he didn't want contributions for his wedding, which is a good move. Which is like, yeah, it's good to not bother people when you're planning a wedding. But then, seriously, selling a house. Then what was that 40 million on decoration for? Anyway, I know the decorations are so expensive these days, but did he need to do all that? But the fact that since their breakup, Sam hasn't shown any signs that he's doing badly. Maybe the guy had always wanted to dispose of the property. You never know. But I wouldn't advise a guy to sell his property just to marry someone, because as we know these days, these relationships, especially the internet kind, don't take long to run down. It's always a matter of time before the chick is spotted by another guy richer than you, and he steals her away from you. Though Apple 256 claims that she didn't want their relationship to be internet facing, because as you guys have heard her saying that most of the clips that we saw on the internet, she was recorded unaware. But of course, we know both of them are internet figures. We know them because of the internet. I don't think any Apple 256 is known for anything else apart from her internet personality. Then Sam, of course, wanted to tap into the fact that his girlfriend is known publicly, so he can tap into that to sell his business. Not a bad thing at all. But I guess how they handled it is where the problems came from. And of course, before Sam, Apple 256 was dating Roy Jeffries, also big on internet, and is singer, I think, as well. So that's life today. We can't run away from these things, because sometimes you have to tap into advantages to get better. Because I'm assuming for some, because as we can see, he's a bit naive. The fact that he made all those such expenses for such a function, he must have thought, this is my girlfriend for life, so let's work together and meet up into his electricity, as we say these days, so that I grow my business, which is going to benefit both of us. But the chick had other plans, as we see now, and she can't claim that she didn't want to be on the internet. Unless maybe she claims that the guy was an embarrassment to him. That's why she never wanted them to be seen together on the internet. But we know these days it's inevitable. If you are two public figures being on the internet, somehow is impossible, because these are young kids, they're always going out, so running out from cameras is almost hard. But me, what I hated most is how she was despising him. She said the guy was internet excited, yet after doing all that because Jeff paid for the function that happened at her home, he paid for the function on his side, was taking care of them, because the guy looks like he was making good money. So why the need? And I'm happy people are attacking her, because there was no need to say all that to the internet. If the relationship ended and she has now moved on into a totally different lifestyle, where she's now a DJ, let her focus on that. Let her do her DJing thing and move on. But as you can tell from this gentleman, women will always remember the things that they did for you, the things that you promised to do for them and never did for them. And we also need to acknowledge the fact that women have no memory. Women don't remember things. That's why they move on from relationships very fast, and like us, they have no regret. That's why a woman will do something nasty to you, and within a few minutes you have forgotten and moved on. So as you go out of your way to make them happy and do whatever you can for them, always remember that they're not going to acknowledge all that stuff after they've moved on. They now start looking at the new relationship, and you'll be in the back burner, forgotten, not thought about at all.